him.
We went through a similar experience where Mike Babchick refused to be seen in public with both of us
Right.
at a Mad Dog radio event.
I know, and I went over there.
You did go over there.
I barnstormed that
You just
place.
went in there, right?
Yes.
This thing was the complete opposite. I told you that I got you in.
Oh, yeah?
I got you in.
Well, I'm just saying I'd be happy to go to a gal function.
Well, let's go.
But I'd like to get the invite from one of the gals or from Craig Larson.
Would it make you feel better if I CC'd you on an email asking Craig permission, Mr. Larson
Yes.
permission?
And if he says yes, then I'm in.
Okay.
I'll go.
Okay, you just didn't believe me
I
last year?
just felt uncomfortable. That's all.
Well,
I need to be comfortable.
Look, there
like
weren't
I
many
was
people
last
there.
night at the Fittler Club.
Yeah,
I
I
was
hear
very
this.
comfortable.
Where was my invite?
Oh, that's. I got to work this for a little while. But
Are
I
you
will,
brand new in this whole
Yes,
scene?
I'm new. I'm new on this scene.
So, okay, let's look at this because you don't have to go into details. I don't know how private or discreet this whole thing was, but you are now part of what seems to be, at the very least, the crust of the social elite in Philadelphia.
It's the crust. Yeah, I'm on the edge of the
That's
crust.
fine. And
Yes.
at the very least, I give it credit.
Right.
Now, I need to know, how is Harry Mays, who is as get me home as fast as possible, handling this?
Well, I handled it because the parking is very easy, and it's a high-end membership spot that a group that I am newly a part of was having a function. So I really wanted to check the place out.
Okay.
Because I otherwise wouldn't be able to set foot in this joint.
No.
Okay. In fact, I brought a friend, a buddy with me, who's affiliated with the show, one of the sponsors of the show, and we walked into the place, and he's like, "Dude, is this like some kind of high-end sex club?" Like,
Are you serious?
I go, no.
Swingers
it ain't
club?
that kind of club.
Is that where you went?
No.
Wait a second. You
But
didn't even hint at
But
being that.
walking in, it gives you this feeling like, because it's like this door that you would otherwise walk past, and nobody even knows the place is there.
Right.
Kind of one of those joints, you know? So
Where there's no signage or
he was
anything?
kidding, but I thought it was funny because it, like, when you walk in, you're like, man, you're like, where are we going? Like, this is like, it was cool.
I think...
The place is great.
Yeah. So what happens when you walk in? Like, how much detail can you give when you walk in? I don't want to have you blow your cover already after one
Well, there's a
outing.
door, and then there's another door, and then there's another door.
Did somebody have to give a secret knock
No,
or handshake?
no,
or
not a
password?
knock or handshake, but you got to go. You know, there's a
The bird leaves at midnight?
There's an attendant there, and if
Okay.
your name is not on the list, you're out.
Now, is this attendant prepared to handle any riffraff? Like, is this person or is it just kind of like expected that nobody in their right mind is going to walk
No
in there?
riffraff would be in there.
Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right.
So it's not a bouncer.
Except me. Like, I was as close to
You were as
riffraff
much of riffraff.
as it got.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I find this fascinating because of who you are. And again, you're the same person on and off the air, but who you are as a person merged with this. And the last thing you would do, I think, would just be walking around running for mayor.
Exactly.
Like, that's not you.
That's not me.
But I'm sure people came up to you and recognized you.
Everybody.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Everybody that was a part of this group listens to the show.
This show.
Which I did not know.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you realize then at that point how obligated you were to now further conversation? Because you can't go in there and get out when people have
No.
A, recognized you, and B, told you that they listened to the damn show.
No, then you gotta play
You're
the
locked
game.
in.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, if I didn't know who you were and somebody came up and said, hey, that's Harry Mays. Well, who exactly is Harry Mays? Oh, his talk show.
Yeah.
I would lie, too.
Right.
And say, hey, I know Harry.
Yeah.
Can I get a picture?
No, there were no pictures.
Oh, no, I guess you're
No
right.
cameras.
This is like the casino here. You need special permission.
But anyway, everybody was very...
Any TVs? Were you able to watch anything?
Yeah.
Like Sixers?
Well, they
or-
actually had a private viewing, like a movie screen room, where they were
Of The
showing...
Irishman?
No, but they were showing the Sixers and Nuggets game.
Well, okay. Can you explain to us what a because I have 4 TVs down here.
Mm-hmm.
I can host a private viewing
could.
as well,
Right.
where 8 people can watch something entirely different.
Sure.
What was this private? Was it like
I didn't go in there.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I had no interest in
Oh,
the
look.
Sixers. I was at the bar with all the people that listen to the show.
Okay, but couldn't you migrate everybody over there and say, "Hey, look, we should. That's the easy way out of a conversation." If you're stuck,
I didn't want to get out of a conversation.
Okay.
I was into it.
I'm shocked to hear this.
Uh-huh.
I thought you would be. Well, I guess you do have to take advantage of the fact that you're in a position or a building or an area that might not come around few and far. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this is like Halley's Comet for me.
I
You
understand.
know what I'm saying?
There is
It's like
something.
a solar eclipse.
Well, you took full advantage of it, didn't you?
Yes.
I'm very happy.
But
for
I
you.
was very glad to know that so many people listen to this show and like it.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I am shocked. Well, what does that tell you? Does that mean that we're doing something right?
I think so.
Or does that mean we should start changing?
No.
things?
Everybody liked what we're doing.
Wait, because in radio, when you get positive feedback, the idea is to now change things and say, all right, well, that worked, but now we need to find something new that worked. That's why I asked.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay, we're not. I appreciate that.
No, now I know, we got a lot to discuss today. We got some Sixers stuff to discuss.
Well, that's what I said. We're at this fork right now,
Yeah.
where I think it's Wednesday, where you can look at 2 storylines right now going on in the city. One is, and I don't know why it's turned into a back and forth, but I don't even want to go down that road. But one is what happens with the Eagles, specifically why. Why haven't they signed or brought in a warm-blooded animal? 2-legged, 4-legged, anything that could catch a ball at the wide receiver position. Like, why hasn't that happened?
Yeah,
And
I
on
mean-
the other side would just be the Sixers, and I don't know what you heard from Embiid last night following the game, but just some head-scratching, not in a negative, but just head-scratching comments. So I don't know where you want to start.
I didn't hear any Embiid.
Okay.
Okay? All I know is I've got some audio of one of our arch rivals, one of our nemesis in the NBA, is trolling one of our star players.
Okay, see, this is what I'm fascinated about, this story. I wonder, Josh, I sent you the tweet, right, with Joel Embiid's post-game.
Didn't have that.
You don't have that? If you don't, I'll...
Celtics guy.
Just the Celtics guy? Okay. I'm going to send you this one as well. But what you got from Embiid, it was just a strange thing. It was early in the morning, so I might have overlooked it.
I know they beat the Nuggets last night. They didn't cover. It was 5.5. They won by 5, but they got the win against a good team.
No, I was surprised that a team like Denver coming into that end of the road trip where they've lost 4 of 5, they've been gassed at times. I was surprised that it was that close to where the Sixers didn't cover. I mean, I thought, look, a 7-8 point win was easily doable. But there's something about what he said last night specifically that has to do with maturity and this conversation about maturity. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about because it didn't make sense. But let's do the Jaylen Brown thing first.
Okay.
Because
Hold on.
oh, okay, sorry. I at least want to get Josh the opportunity to grab this Embiid post and flip that. So basically, it's 2 things happening right now. One is internal, which is the Joel Embiid comments, and it's just interesting and kind of weird to me. The other is the Jaylen Brown setup. Now, we'll hear the audio from Jaylen when Josh has it, but why don't you just set the stage with this story?
Okay, I just sort of stumbled upon this. John Clark actually had it on his Twitter feed.
Nice.
And it was from, like, NBC Sports New England. Okay, they had some video of Jaylen Brown being interviewed at post-game from the other night. And they're referencing one of his teammates, Grant Williams.
Nice.
Okay, guy on a squad, he's a bench player, I guess, and he was 0 for 25, I believe, from 3-point range this season. 0 for. And the teammates started to refer to him at some point along this stretch
Oh my God.
as Ben Simmons.
Wait a second. Are
They're
you serious?
using Ben Simmons to troll one of their own teammates
Are you
who
serious?
can't shoot 3-pointers. Like, if this is happening in Boston, it's happening elsewhere, too.
Absolutely, it's happening elsewhere. But
He's a punchline.
But think about exactly like that in its own right seems to be just absurd.
If
doesn't
I'm
it?
Ben Simmons, he has to know about this. I mean, everybody was forwarding the tweets to him and stuff. He has to have seen it, or some of his people have to know about it. This would outrage me.
Oh
and,
my
and
God.
this would be the final thing to motivate me to start being a jump shooter.
Absolutely.
To incorporate it into my arsenal.
So there are a couple of things going on.
He has
here.
to be shamed into it, and this has to be the final straw.
We've seen this happen before. Remember,
Yes.
where us here in Philadelphia have publicly shamed him into taking a three or bouncing back,
Including
from a four.
Joel Embiid in the game against the Chinese team.
Correct.
I
Correct.
mean, jeez, he attempted one last night,
Okay.
apparently.
He did. We'll get to that in a second, though, because you brought up the Chinese thing. That's what Sunday felt like. Thank you for bringing that up. Sunday, when people say that Carson Wentz had the defining moment of his career, or that was the game that he needed to have, it reminds me of talking about how great it was to see Ben Simmons take a shot against the Chinese national team.
Okay.
That wasn't even a national team, pardon me. It was a club team in the Chinese league. It was against the god-awful Giants.
I know, but see, I can't go there with you on that. And first of all, it was Monday night.
What did I say?
You said Sunday, but
Well,
that's
you
not
understand
a
what I'm
big
saying.
deal. I know where you're going. That game, Monday night in the first half, had the feel of a preseason football game. I will give you that.
It was bad in the first half.
Right. The atmosphere all around. Like the crowd wasn't into it. It didn't look like the team was into it. They're playing a garbage team. And it just felt like this isn't a regular season football game in December that's supposed to matter for at least one of the teams. It felt like preseason.
fair.
And then all of a sudden, at the half, it changed. But you equating Carson Wentz having his breakout game, or his bringing a team from behind with in a game that they had to win and all that kind of stuff, and equating it to the Ben Simmons thing, I can't go there because of what Carson Wentz was forced to work with to beat that team.
Okay, but that
He's not
doesn't
playing
mean,
with Joel Embiid.
But isn't the game that he had where he got hurt 2 years ago in L.A. 10 times more impressive than what he did against a team that hasn't won in 10 straight games?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the most impressive thing. I'm
No, but
just
that's-
saying it was a game that he needed to have.
Okay, so maybe we're on a little bit of different plane here, because I guess I'm reacting to the people that say that's that his defining moment, or the game of his career,
No,
or something. That's what I would
No.
equate the reaction of Ben Simmons knocking a three-pointer down. Like, dude, you needed. It's almost like Carson Wentz needed to do that, and I know it sucks he had nobody around him, but
No, he did need to do that.
I
You're
can't.
right.
Yeah, but I can't say like it. I feel like I'm having the same conversation with people who were so yacked up about Ben Simmons knocking that 3-point block.
In a meaningless
Yeah,
game.
against a team that. Yes,
Against
exactly.
against a team of guys.
And look, it's not an anti-statement. I'm not coming. Look, you and I have been accused of being pro Carson, so
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
an anti-statement on
No.
Carson. It's just I can't get to the point where this was a defining moment. When you referenced the Chinese national or that Chinese team,
Yeah.
it just made me think. I was trying to figure out how I felt about people using that game against the Giants as some extreme statement, and I'm thinking, no, that sounded like the three against China.
That Chinese team was like, they took a bus down to Tiananmen Square and said, all right, you're over 6 feet, get in the bus.
Right.
You're going to go play in America. You're going to play basketball. They sucked.
I think
okay?
I think they've gotten relegated.
St. Joe's would have beaten them last night.
Now, come on.
Okay?
You
And if
sure
and
about-
by the way, if you had St. Joe's plus 46 last night, you lost.
Plus 46.
Yes. I wonder if you could have gotten that on the Parks app with those little, those odds, the little odds boost.
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
You could
right.
get,
The boost.
Hey, St. Joe's is plus 46 in game. I'm
Now
going
what?
to take it.
What? If,
Bang.
I guess you could. Yeah, you can't tease in game. Was that an in game line, or did that close at 46?
No, I have no idea. They lost by 47. That's
Oh,
my point.
right.
I think Warner Wolf used to do that. It was one of his shticks.
Got it. Okay.
If you had this team plus whatever,
Then you
guess
lost.
what? You lost. It was classic.
Do you know how many people probably listening either are unfamiliar with that name or haven't heard that name in a little bit?
Well, they should research it.
You think
There's
so?
a lot of stuff that's said on this show. I'm not here to educate everybody. Just go research things for yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, did Nick Cannon die?
I don't know. I saw RIP all over the place. I didn't really feel like investigating it.
So apparently Nick Cannon's rap career died.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, his rap career died because apparently, and I'm just reading the top trending tweets of the day with the hashtag RIP Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Look, do you realize how hard it is to win a rap battle? Like two guys going back and forth releasing tracks.
Well, you've done it, haven't you?
I was never like a really good battle rapper. That takes, as much as we talk off the cuff and you can freestyle and stuff, like battle, you need to be insulting and, you know what I mean? Like there's stuff you need to play off of. I'm not going to get down there. My point of it is, I don't think Eminem released anything. I think all Nick Cannon did today or last night was release a diss track about Eminem.
Oh, so he's dissing Eminem.
But apparently he on the track was so... We need Josh. We're trying to figure this out and find Nick Cannon's verse. Apparently,
can we play it?
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
Is it a lot of curse? I mean, you might have.
Oh,
a
it
lot
might
of
be,
curse
but we'll
words.
see. We'll see. We'll make sure before we send it to
Yeah.
him. But apparently Nick Cannon's verse, Harry, was so bad that Eminem won this without even releasing anything.
Is that right?
Like it was one attempt by Cannon.
He won
it was
by
so
default.
bad. Exactly right. It's a guy taking a dive without even getting hit.
Right.
So I guess that's what is RIP right
You're in
now.
a playoff hole. Your opponent hit his first two out of bounds. You know what? Let's
That's
not
it.
even play the
That's
hole.
it.
You win.
That's it. Just walk out. You didn't even have to drive.
Right.
You didn't have to tee off. My God. I couldn't believe this. All right, we'll figure that thing
All
out
right.
as well. So the Eagles we have, you can hit us up in the text board, 609-403-0973. We're live on the streams here as well. Facebook, Twitch, Derailed on the YouTube page, and of course at Harry Mays TU on the Periscope, at Shander Show on Twitter. And again, the text board will be open. You've got the Philadelphia, you got a bunch of things. Everything we talk about is open, but as far as a sports standpoint, you've got the Philadelphia Eagles mainly not signing a wide receiver. It's Wednesday. This is supposed to be the big practice, right? Where you're doing a lot as far as implementing and looking ahead.
Yeah, this is game day, game plan day, right?
Correct.
Typically? Yeah,
Correct.
Right?
All right, Josh, do we have the Jaylen Brown first or the Joel Embiid first?
Both.
Okay, let's do... Okay, Harry, part of me wants... I know whatever we play first, like I couldn't ask Josh to play the Joel Embiid just to get it and then get to the Jaylen Brown. Like, we're not going to be able to play something and kind of skirt around it.
Right.
So let's play the Jaylen Brown first because I think it's juicier. Let's listen to Brown explain the trolling on Ben Simmons.
Who was the most excited for Grant
Grant, I think everybody was happy. I think I saw Brandon Bailey, his development guy. I saw him getting pretty ecstatic about that because they work every single day, and I tease him a little bit, man. Y'all gotta go game speed, man. He's not. This is not game speed. And he's like, get out of here, F you, Jalen. And so it's good to see him knock one down. Yeah, we were calling him Ben Simmons for the longest. But he knocked one down, and Ben knocked him down too. So shout out to both of those guys.
Now, he saved himself. He tried to save himself at the very end by saying, Ben
Yeah.
knocked one down too, and shout out to both of those guys. But did you hear the reporters laughing?
Yeah, look, I think you are completely naive if you're living in a world where Ben Simmons not shooting a jump shot / three-pointer, and now 2 or 3 shots that get looked at like a championship celebration. And this is not a knock on Ben. I'm just saying you as a fan out there are totally naive, living in a rock right now, where if you believe nobody is aware and or making fun of this. I deal with it a lot. Whatever platform we happen to do stuff on, people know you're from Philadelphia.
Mhm.
You do hits. I do
Oh,
hits.
yeah.
We do hits on different stations around. And I got guys in Portland love ripping me about Ben Simmons here and not taking the 3 and all of this. It's a joke. And I don't mean like, oh, it's a joke. I don't mean that. I'm just saying it's a running joke around the league.
Yeah.
Ben isn't a joke, but the fact that he isn't shooting the 3 is clearly a joke.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
I thought it was incredible.
Can I separate my fandom with the Sixers for a second and just sit back and say that's pretty damn funny?
It is. Now, I like the 3 that he took against Cleveland the other night. That
Wide
looked like
open
a
in the
very,
corner.
very good in rhythm, nice release. I mean, the shot looks good. Don't you think?
I think it's looked good in practice. That's what's frustrated people. That looks like exactly what you see in
Well, it's
practice or
different.
shoot
It's
around.
just like Jalen Brown's telling his teammate and his shooting guys, like, "Hey, man, you got to do this in the game. Like, it's different in the game." But he did it against Cleveland the other night, and the shot looked great.
Yeah.
And he made it. And after the game, Brett Brown said, "This is what I want, and you can pass this along to his agent, his family, and his friends. I want a 3-point shot a game." He said it.
Yeah, he did say. Well, that's what he said.
It was awesome.
He wants for Christmas.
Yeah.
All I want for Christmas.
All I
is...
want for Christmas is a 3-pointer.
Wait, I don't want to step on Joe Conklin's toes here, but I think you and I and Josh and probably the help of somebody else could put together a nice little parody song.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have to have you do the Brett Brown impersonation.
Mm-hmm.
I can write it. We'll just
Right.
record it, and then Josh can add the.
Do we add Christopher Walken into this?
Well, I was thinking as you were doing the Brett Brown, I wonder what Christopher Walken would sound like doing Brett Brown. That's an interesting one. All right, I want you to hear the Joel Embiid audio when we get back. But real quick, before we break, did you see this story about Trae Young last night? You probably missed it.
I did not.
You were locked in at the club. Trae Young said, quote, "It's over." This is a really funny story. Just because you can tell, like, Jimmy Butler's involved in this. Trae Young said, quote, "It's over," after the Hawks went up 117-111 with 54 seconds to go versus the Heat. He's running around the court. It's over.
Oh,
It's
wow.
over. Miami tied it with 54 left, down 6, sent it to overtime, and closed out on a 24-5 run. Jimmy Butler was staring at this dude the entire time,
Nice.
every time he did something.
I love that stuff.
Ah, boy, I miss Jimmy.
Yeah.
Back after this.
You're listening to the Maze and Aton Show, presented by Dry Guys of South Jersey. Go to dryguysonair.com and get the
Man, that was a hell of a segment right there, huh?
dryguysonair.com.
You gotta,
This is the radio home of Philadelphia Eagles football. This Sunday, the Eagles look to sweep the series with the Washington Redskins.
What's going on back there?
I don't know. I think something's going on with Joe with
Golf
you.
show with Tony Bruno starts at 10 a.m. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 1 p.m. This
So,
is where the Eagles
I just
play.
tracked down this girl from-
97.3 ESPN.
She lives not too far.
Jersey's Eagles
No, I know.
Station.
I know. I mean, it's on the up and up. So I'm working with bookies, and we need. I'm basically doing the job of me and the ambassador who's on site, but the ambassador needs to be like a promotional woman, like a hot chick. So I found this girl. She's smart. She's like focused. She's 21. She's hot, and I met her today just to kind of go over the whole bookies thing. So I think she worked at Parks, so she was going to come by and see if there's any way she can help like social stuff. She's got like 5,000 Instagram followers. But main thing is to do the bookies thing. It's weird because like it wasn't meant. That's not what it's meant for. But I'm using it for networking.
Get to the Landmark Americana in the heart of Glassboro for what will be a great football experience, a great nightlife experience, or anything you want it to be experience. The Landmark Americana. It's the Monday night home of Bruno, Aton, and McMullen. Presented by Corona and South Jersey's football home every Eagles game day. Landmark Americana. You'll know it when you get there, and you'll always remember it when you leave. Go to the Landmark Americana in Glassboro this football season. Who knows who you'll see? Gelval Insurance wants to save you 40% on your car insurance right now, and they will do it today. Here's managing partner Jim.
All right, so I have.
People pay a lot more premium than they need to, and they may not have the coverage to justify
So-
what they're paying.
There's no charge for the complimentary insurance review. You will save money, and you will connect with a company that is an advocate, not a broker. Go to
So I have a
DVIGI.com,
SoundCloud
or simply call
page
Jim at 215-354-0122.
that
That's 215-354-0122.
I've met clients that think that I, as an independent agent, charge a
That's
fee
up. That's
versus
a
going
pro
direct
page.
to Geico or
So
going
I just
direct to
deleted
Progressive. We do not charge
for the Westbrook, for the records and stuff with Brian Westbrook. But I still have like random shit of my own that is connected to like iTunes or whatever, like SB Nation or the iHeart stuff. So what I was going to do is
Traditional Thai yoga massage. Deep tissue massage reaches deeper layers of muscles. It's used to break down knots and relieve pressure points throughout the body. This massage is
just
beneficial
have
for
this as an
athletes who
all-in-one
sit or stand for long
spot
periods of time. People
where
with
it'll
multiple
still
sclerosis,
post, like we can
sciatica,
create an
rheumatoid
iTunes
issues,
page
and
for
muscle
Mason.
weakness.
It's already on Mason Aton, but we can create like a new Mason because it's through the Jacob Media page. So now we can control it, and I can upload it from Josh at the end of every show.
Podcast and stuff.
Yeah, just so we can get our podcast back.
People are asking questions.
Right, where the podcast is. But instead of me uploading our show to the Jacob Media page, I can upload our show to my existing SoundCloud page so that it can still go to an iTunes page. I can still put in the correct iTunes page to direct it, but it won't be on Jacob Media. I just, instead of creating a brand new SoundCloud page and paying an extra, is that okay?
That costs money.
Yeah, it's like $50 a month.
Really?
Yeah, but again, I'm paying because I have all other content.
Right, right, right.
Are you okay with that? So it's not like a dedicated SoundCloud page, but we can still have it to direct people? Okay. I just want to make sure.
Oh yeah.
But yes, it costs money.
Wow.
And the most aggressive carriers. Give my friend Kevin a call at 800-691-1686. That's 800-691-1686. Or visit him online at lighthouse.ins.biz.
There are so many choices when it comes to selecting the right financial institution. Start with the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. We're right here in your city. We're also the official credit union of Temple University, and anyone who lives, works, worships, and studies in Philadelphia can open an account. We're member-owned and offer all the
1 minute.
services you're looking for, like mobile banking and free ATM withdrawals. Visit our website at pfcu.com. We're not here for our profit, here for yours. Federally insured.
You like
by
anybody
NCUA.
tonight?
Huh?
Did you say you like anybody tonight? Did you say you like anybody tonight?
No, I didn't look at the shit tonight. I'm gonna watch golf. President's Cup starts this afternoon.
Yeah.
Late this afternoon.
Did you look at any of that? That's tough to bet. Do you ever bet on that?
I haven't bet on any of the team stuff. I bet individual like matches.
Okay.
In tournaments, regular tournaments, but not team events.
That makes sense, though. That's probably much easier, right?
Yeah,
Matches?
yeah. I don't know, it's not easy, but that's like the team stuff. I mean, you're factoring in like multiple guys. You know,
Yeah.
like two versus
Right.
best ball and all that kind of stuff. It's a little different.
And the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
So we've got more reaction on the Jaylen Brown stuff. I think it's funny. Don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's.
I mean,
It's
think about
something
that,
that
right?
I hope has the proper effect on our guy. You know what I mean? Like this is finally the thing. Like, look, man. All right, enough. The coach has put it out there too.
Yeah.
Okay, he's on record now, which was never the case before. He was always Brett Brown was sort of one of these guys that sort of stands back and lets the player figure it out kind of guy, right?
So he's not.
But now he's on record.
Correct. Like he's not as hands-on as far as more laissez-faire.
Right. Yeah.
Now, do you
and that's
think-
okay. You know, it works for him.
Yes,
but
but-
now's the time. He's out there. He put it out there. I'd like one a game. That's not asking too much. I just want one. But he said 3-pointer. I
Correct.
want one 3-pointer. And why not? When he sees the release and the way this
He's
guy
been
is,
seeing it all day in
yeah,
practice.
why not?
So what do you think motivates? You can only choose one here.
All right.
What do you think motivates Ben Simmons to take at least 1.5 3-pointers a game over the next 10 games? Is it this is now public that at least one team in the NBA is ridiculing him?
And it's not just any team.
Correct.
It's
It
the
is
Celtics.
who knocked them out.
Right.
Convincingly.
Exactly. Where
Is it that to the point at which Jaylen Brown didn't even hesitate to go public with this?
Mhm.
Or is it all I want for Christmas
No.
is a 3-pointer a game?
I love you, Brett, but it's the shame of.
You think it's shame
Well, to me,
over coddling?
I can only say from my perspective, Like in this,
You reacted to shaming?
in this business. Let's just take it to our business. Okay, I've had program directors tell me a lot of things and wish I did things differently.
Maybe I got the wrong guy.
Exactly. Okay, many times, but I would not necessarily listen to those program directors. But if a guy who I really respected in the business, who also does the business,
You don't respect anybody in this
not
business.
teaches
Come
or
on.
tries to program the business. A guy actually does it, said the same thing. That would mean a whole lot more to me, and I would start doing it. So
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'll spare you a moment of awkwardness and ask you for details of who.
I respect a lot of guys in this business.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Besides Mike Hill.
Yes.
Okay.
In addition.
Oh, in addition to.
In addition
Okay,
to.
I didn't know if it was besides or
No.
in addition.
No.
Yeah, I think that you are a different cut than Ben Simmons. And no, let's look at this. There's not. I'm not even talking about an age gap. I'm just saying, like, there are people. It doesn't even have to be you as far as how old you are. I think I am 10 times closer to where you are in that response than Ben Simmons. There are people that are going to be younger than me, in early 30s, that respond the same way. So I think that there is something generational that is worthy of asking this question, which is, Ben Simmons is a perfect example of the modern star athlete. A guy that's not, there's a difference, right, between Ben Simmons, basketball player personality, and superstardom, as opposed to, like, Jordan.
Guys who played in the 80s and 90s.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even, 2000,
Yeah.
Shaq, something like that. It's just different, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we saw this with Markelle Fultz.
Mm-hmm.
Markelle Fultz is doing okay right now, where there's no spotlight and no pressure and nothing on him, and he can just be coddled along, and it's okay, and get there. But you know what? It worked for him more so than what happened here. And I'm not
Right.
blaming us. I'm just saying there's a difference. So I think Ben Simmons, I almost disagree and think Ben Simmons, the player personality, would react to the coach. Yet me, personally, I agree with you.
Right.
That,
Shaming.
yes,
Yeah.
yell at me,
Right.
be belligerent.
Yeah.
The worst tongue lashing I ever got
Yeah.
was when I filled in for Big Daddy Graham, and the guy after me did not like
That guy.
Yeah, that guy did not like what I had to say.
Ow! That guy.
Kicked the door in and
He
started
did?
screaming at me. Yeah. Well, I told him to. I said, if you hear anything, stop me and
Oh.
let me know.
Oh, okay. So he did.
Because it's somebody, and again, for me it's different, might be different for you. It's somebody who you respect in the business. You want them to let you know, but I knew that if I got just positivity, like, oh yeah, it sounds great, from somebody I liked or respected,
Mm-hmm.
I would let that get to, I would take that, as opposed to if it's somebody I didn't respect, it's like, all right, man, get me out of here.
Right. I'm going to consider the source guy.
Yeah, but I don't know if I just think Ben Simmons would respond to the coddling.
You might be right.
Maybe that's just more about who they are as younger athletes. But you think...
Look, I think you're right. And if it's different than me, that's fine. I just hope he does respond to whatever it is.
Either way,
whether it's the coach, or the coddling, or that approach. I don't care. Just respond. Start doing it.
Just that. That's all you need right now.
Yeah.
Is a response. Now that response is what? A 3 a game?
That's what the coach says.
Are you really anticipating a 3 a game right now?
I mean, I'm not talking about threes at the end of the shot clock or at the end of a quarter, a heave type of thing. I want a real 3. And if Brett wants that, Brett needs to draw something up every once in a while to make sure, like, he's open in the corner. He wants him shooting from the corner, right?
Okay.
Let's draw one up.
Okay.
Make him shoot it.
I don't know.
He's eventually going to get comfortable with it if he's making them.
Yeah,
right?
I get it.
Wouldn't you want to shoot more if you're starting to make them?
You would think so.
I mean...
You would think right now. You would think that it would be a good feeling, that guys are responding, that you would want to put Ben in that position more often than not, right?
Right, and if you're Ben and you want to be great, like I think he wants to be, and you start adding that to your repertoire, I mean, that opens up so many other things for him and his game. And if he wants to be great, he knows that he has to incorporate it, whether it's 3-point shots or 18-footers. He knows he has to incorporate that. He's not stupid.
No, he's not. So why is it taking this long?
That I don't know.
And I don't mean
have
to
no
bring
idea.
you back to this unanswerable question, but as you just lay that all out, I'm thinking, is it merely just a matter of continuing to adjust to this league? Is there something mental that we don't talk about because we don't know that's really doing
There's
this?
some level of uncomfortability, if that's a word.
Uncomfortability.
He's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can say uncomfortability.
I think
right?
he's even uncomfortable, being like the aggressive Ben Simmons more often than not, because you see it every so often. But he's not comfortable being that guy night in and night out, and I don't know why.
What do you think he's most comfortable doing? Just
Facilitate, playing defense.
Yeah, last night I thought was disappointing because the Denver Nuggets are as good as they are defensively. One thing they don't do well this year is play transition defense. They're really susceptible, especially on the road. It's early, but on the road they don't play great transition defense, Harry. Isn't that now look, Tobias Harris had a great night, Matisse Thybulle.
He's playing a lot better, by the way.
Absolutely.
Tobias Harris too.
I know.
Much more consistent with the shot because he was god awful in the beginning of November. We went through the numbers, but he and Thybulle has really improved.
Yep.
You can tell he's working hard on his shot.
I agree 1,000%,
Yeah.
and it's helped this
great
team.
to see.
Right, if you have somebody that's not having a great night.
Growing a bomber. Remember, maybe he's the bomber. Maybe
Is that right?
We put
He's growing a bomber?
Yeah, we take the leather bomber jacket and the Ray-Bans from Furcan and give it to Matisse.
Wait a second. Is that what's happening right
I
now?
think that's what's happening.
I think a lot of people would be okay with you removing any article of clothing of value from Furcan.
Yeah, I don't want him
Bombas.
naked.
And no. I said of value, not
Okay.
all articles of clothing, just of value. I'm going to hit the text board
Okay.
609-403-0973, but I'm curious because you know that Glenn has some sort of anti-Ben Simmons. Is this what happens when your quarterback is Duck Hodges? You have to take out your aggression on our basketball players now, Glenn?
Not at all. I'm just like to call it like it is. I mean, I'm just saying. He doesn't have that in his game. What you guys are asking, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing to make me believe he's going to be jacking it up 20 to 25 times. It's going to allow him to be a difference-making, jump-shooting, attacking the basket kind of player. There's no consistency to his game. He had 7-9 points the other night. We got to look up what Barkley said about Embiid too, and the Sixers winning the championship. I didn't hear it. I got to look it up too.
Yeah, I heard
I
it.
think he said they're not going to have a chance with Embiid for whatever reason. I didn't hear. But
We'll get you that. We'll play that in
I
the
listened
second
to that
hour.
this
Yeah.
morning, actually.
I just have no belief in Ben Simmons at all, man.
Well, as far as what, like, hold on a second. Let's just 1 second. Let me ask you a question, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
What is it that you truly don't have faith in, and why will the thing that you don't have faith in be the undoing of this basketball team? Because that's where I think there's a disconnect between me and you.
His consistent production. He does not have that in his game.
But he's averaging a near triple-double.
Yeah.
And he's one of the games. Hold on a second. Let me just get this out. Forget what you see on the offensive end. If Ben Simmons just stood there at the half court every single offensive possession, he's still an elite, not good, not great, an elite level perimeter defender. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like he's all NBA defensive team this year.
And that's not even in question. But his offensive lack of consistent offensive production will be the downfall of this team. He's not the kind of guy you're going to rely on. When you talk about having a big two, you're talking beating Simmons? Absolutely not. Simmons is like a fourth guy.
Nobody has a big two, not even LA. You need more people. Like, why does Simmons have to score 25 a night in order for this team to win a championship?
You need the production. Where's it coming from? What do you mean? I can't believe you're asking that.
Yeah, because if I can get Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris consistently over 20 points a night, and Ben Simmons is hovering and facilitating and putting up 18 and
16
10.
to 18 or
yeah,
whatever.
and 10
But
to 12 assists.
Some of that is through a jump shot because that changes the way you defend the team.
Okay, I get that.
That was my point.
And both of you are valid on that. Look, Glenn, we love you, man. Thanks for the call. But here's the easiest way around Glenn's point. Get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
You get
Well,
to the
that
free
too.
throw line, all of a sudden, this talk about 1-3 a game and all that other stuff, it's gone.
He got to the free throw line that night and Embiid didn't play against Cleveland.
Yes, he did. That's a
Okay?
great point.
Yeah. What, he had like 34 points that night, but he went to the line double-digit times.
No, it's a fantastic
Yeah.
point. He was able to make a living
Yeah.
off of that. All right, coming up, we're going to get to the text board. I know we've been neglecting, but we've got a bunch of things happening. That at 1 o'clock, let's listen to that Shaq Chuck stuff that got everybody fired up this morning, and it's amazing. And I'll tell you this. We as Philadelphia sports fans are undeniably fair weather when it comes to one thing. It's not our teams, but it comes to one thing. And I want to explain that when
All
we
right.
talk about Chuck and Shaq. But coming up, let's listen to this Joel Embiid cut as well, and the text board. Is that okay?
No, that's perfect. And we have Bob from Crossing Broad in the 1 o'clock hour
Correct.
as well, because the Phillies are making moves. They made another one yesterday. There's rumors about them connected with a certain third baseman that we have to talk about. That
Not
excites
third
me a lot.
base, the hip hop.
No.
Are you sure MC Search is not coming and doing a show here?
Never heard of him.
Oh man, MC Search?
Jeez.
We might need a little Cactus album on the rejoin.
Listen to Mays and Aton anywhere. Download the 97.3 ESPN mobile app now. 973ESPN.com/app. South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia Flyers.
1:10. We were just waiting on confirmation. So do you have the Chuck Shaq stuff?
The Flyers face the Colorado Avalanche. Coverage begins at
Okay, I was gonna say I could send it to you if not, but just let me know. Thanks, man. Okay, thanks.
Flyers are the big one tonight on the road. Colorado. Yeah, I was thinking, what would you think about getting Mertitas on once a week for a 10-minute Flyers hit?
I think we should just have him on in show, no?
Huh?
You don't want to have him in show?
Kind of out on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Gets a little too disjointed.
I thought last time we talked about sports more.
We did?
Yeah.
$50 on your first deposit. ParksCasino.com/PA. Again, PARX Casino.com/PA and use promo code SWEET to get your
It's too much ADD.
What about an hour, man?
An hour?
And we end on hockey.
All right. Second hour of the show?
Do you think he can't handle that?
I don't know, man.
I mean, Bruno's thing is ADD.
Oh, I know that's only 10 minutes.
It's true.
Yeah. He needs Ritalin or something.
Caring is help when you need it most.
Or Adderall.
Sometimes that means giving you more control over your decisions. The Care Cost Estimator from Independence Blue Cross helps you make the choices that are right for you. It's just one more way we are helping members throughout the Philadelphia region make better, more informed health.
How about this frickin'
Because we believe caring
Garrett
is
Cole
helping
contract? Are they nuts?
Independence Blue Cross. Learn more
I mean-
at ibs.com.
9 years for a pitcher.
Suburbs with a tremendous history of great
Yep.
success in the real estate market. Meet Kristen
I don't know about you, but he's due to have arm trouble, right? I mean, goddamn.
Yep. But I think that if I can get him for 3 or 4 years,
Yeah, provided you win a World Series or two, it's worth it then.
hey, at this point, I'd rather overpay for a starting pitcher than any other position outside of a quarterback and goalie. Now, basketball's hard because what are you going to do, right?
How about this
Boy, are
cat?
the Stars playing tonight? They were off last night, right?
No, they won last night. They fired their coach.
I know, and I was going to ride them. I thought they played tonight. After they fired that guy, I was going to ride him. Oh, Antonio Brown goes after the NFL Big Ben in latest tweet storm.
Oh, yeah?
I guess he ain't coming back, huh?
Oh, jeez.
Wet basement or nasty crawl space? Dry
Well, I have to
Guys
look
is
up
your
his
answer
Twitter.
for basement, crawl space, and foundation problems. They have over 30 patented products, including unique insulation packages and great warranties, too. Family-owned Dry Guys has been providing peace of mind for over 30 years to homeowners just like you. So what are you waiting for? Call 844-470-4808, 844-470-4808, or visit DryGuysOnAir.com. Take the first step. You'll be glad you did. Go to DryGuysOnAir.com.
If you're a golfer looking to pick up a few strokes on the golf course, you should add these 4 words into your training lifestyle.
Okay, thanks.
Thai, yoga, massage.
Oh, he put up a
Massage is relaxing and energizing
tweet of
without oil,
TMZ
designed to increase your
saying Richie Incognito bailed out of jail after allegedly threatening to shoot up a mortuary. And he goes, but they let him. Or some guy goes, they let him play. He laughed at it. That's what I see here. AB, a real loser. Big Ben made that bum. As soon as Ben was done with him, he was out of the league. And AB goes, check his stats before I come in. And when I was done with that loser a long time ago.
That is something else.
The Great American Pub, where good food, great times, and good
Wow, that is something else, huh?
There is 0% chance that Antonio Brown ever plays another snap in the NFL, says Marcus Mosher.
Yeah. Not Jeff
Not
Mosher.
Jeff Mosher. And he goes, F him. F-U-C-M.
He's out. He is out. It's pretty funny, isn't it? The meltdown has begun.
He retweeted a tweet about some guy saying Big Ben actually raped a woman and was allowed to come back with a big contract extension. AB was accused with no evidence, and it was never proven otherwise, and he's been blackballed by the NFL and the white owners. Oh my God.
Was that on Twitter?
Yeah.
With the incredible selection of Le'Veon jewelry at Jared and more exclusive
Guess the almighty NFL can hold players out against their will. No criminal charges pending, nothing. But a Caucasian player gets a domestic. Go to jail, still out there playing, targeted hate against us everywhere, my peeps. Wow.
This is Joe Krause of Krause's Coats inviting you to donate a slightly worn coat or jacket and help kids in need stay warm this winter. Put a Krause's Coats Facebook page. This is Mays Anytime with Harry Mays and Eitan Shander on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, Harry, let's listen to this Joel Embiid audio, and then we'll start getting some reaction on the text board.
And this is last night, post-game?
Correct.
All right.
Correct. Now, just to kind of set this up real quick, this is in direct response to the whole Joel Embiid needs to be more mature conversation, something that's been happening a lot, mind you, not just with fans on Twitter, but sports talk media, columnists, TV personalities. This has been, ever since the whole thing happened with Karl Anthony Towns, and even before that, really, there has been, Joel Embiid does something, especially if it comes in or around or near a Sixers loss, and people, not everybody of course, maybe not even half the city, comes out and they start to criticize, well, he shouldn't be doing this, and stay off Twitter and things along those lines. So this was in response, I guess, to that conversation surrounding Joel Embiid about whether or not he needs to be more mature.
I have not been having fun like usually, like I said, just mainly because I'm still trying to figure it out, to make it work and all that stuff. And it goes back to with me being mature, and one of the biggest part of my game is just having fun, and by having fun is talking trash, and but that part that's kind of being cut. I just need to be myself, and I guess just do whatever I want, because when I'm having fun I dominate, but this year I don't know, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've done it. Last year was basically a reaction, and I love it. They get me going. They understand me. I do understand them. So I I need to start doing it again because that's how I'm going to dominate.
Now he's talking about playing to the crowd and the fans,
Right.
and the latter part of that. But
He kind of talked in a circle there, didn't he?
yeah, and that's what I tweeted earlier this morning when I saw it was Dave Uram's Twitter account that we yacked this from. But it didn't make sense to me either.
No.
Here's the thing. First, two things. One, if you're trying to move on from something that's a distraction, then stop telling me that you're starting or you're moving on from it. Because
Right.
you talking about moving on from a distraction is
Continues
distracting
the
me.
distraction.
Yes,
Yes.
it's distracting me. I
Yeah.
want to focus on Joel Embiid playing basketball. The second thing is, who is mandating this, and how is he responding to this, and nothing about conditioning or
Yeah.
the other like serious stuff.
Right.
Load management,
Yeah.
like refusing to take off. Like, why is
Yeah.
he now all of a sudden responding to this?
I'm fine with him having some fun. I don't like the tweeting about, taunting other players about championships and all this kind of stuff when you've won nothing, okay? That I don't like. But him having fun on the court and trash talking and, playing to the crowd
Yeah.
and all that stuff, I'm fine with. That kind of is what he is. And that sort of helps him play better in a weird way when he can do those things. I don't want to strangulate that.
No,
You know
and
what I
who
mean?
does? Like
I don't
who-
know.
And maybe I should qualify that statement. Who of importance, meaning around him,
Yeah.
feels that way? Like, are we led to believe that Scott O'Neal is sitting this man down and saying, "Hey, man, you can't play to the crowd when you block a shot," or that's what Scott and other people's jobs are,
Right,
is to
right.
make the experience
Yeah.
more enjoyable.
I mean, would it be Brett Brown?
I can't imagine Brett Brown.
Would it be his agent?
No. Look, the only people that truly impact what Joel Embiid does is Joel Embiid
Right.
first, his agent second,
Right.
and his current shoe company third.
Okay.
Then everybody else. Now, again, I don't want to mean that the Sixers have no power because they clearly have influence and whatnot. It doesn't emasculate anybody in that organization. That's not my attempt by any means. But my point of it is that Joel Embiid listening to fill in the blank about being more reserved and strict and uptight, just it doesn't compute
No.
to me.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah,
actually.
but how is he why is he responding, and to whom is he responding to?
I don't know. Is it people on Twitter?
See, I think it's way more. Joel Embiid is as in tune as it gets
With
with
social
social,
media, yeah,
with
yeah.
sports media, with what people are saying.
yeah.
My initial reaction was, this is a guy who's responding to the social/sports media conversation about, is Joel Embiid too brazen for you?
Yeah.
Not brazzers,
Brazen.
brazen.
No, that's not even the issue. I mean, I agree with you. Get in shape. Show me a commitment to being physically in shape so you can go down the stretch of the season and into the playoffs as a significant piece for this team, because that's exactly what they need if they're going to go anywhere. Show me that commitment.
Yeah.
I don't need you to commit to being, more rigid or less fun on the court or in social media. I don't care about that.
And
I prefer you not taunt other players about things that you haven't accomplished yet
That's
either.
fine, right.
That kind of stuff. But the other stuff, hey, have at it.
But that's an isolated and valid,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
an isolated criticism. And that's the issue is, where is this coming from?
I don't know.
Like, what is he responding to
Somebody's
specifically?
getting to him.
Who, though?
I don't know.
And how can you get to, it doesn't compute what superstar in the NBA is responding to something like this. I feel like Joel Embiid is doing this on purpose. And he's creating, look, Joel Embiid controls narratives.
Is he creating a straw man?
I don't know if he's creating, I don't know. Maybe it's a straw man. Maybe it's a distraction. Maybe he's ripping something out of the Patriots book where,
Right, he's using something to sort of grind on as a motivation.
Yep,
And
or
he's
just-
creating it.
hey, people are focused on him and his lack of fun, maybe not their inability to beat the Wizards on the road next time or something like I don't know, but
Yeah, and by the way, that loss to the Wizards, as unsettling as it might be, that happens all the time.
Oh,
in the
sure,
NBA,
sure. I'm
okay?
just saying-
No, I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure people were flipping out.
absolutely.
Immediately thereafter. You can't lose to the Wizards. Yeah, I know, but it happens all around the NBA.
I mean, realistically, they just shouldn't have had Embiid playing that night.
I agree.
That's a different story, different topic. All right, 609-403-0973.
That's a hell of an hour.
That is
I have no idea what we talked about, except Joel Embiid.
a lot. Eitan is completely right. I'm going to read you one text. Just so happens, coincidentally, to be this one.
Okay.
Why do people need Ben to score 25 a night? People have to get over that he's not a scorer. He's a facilitator, an elite defender. People focus so much on the shot, they miss what he does great on the floor. That's why we love our buddy Glenn from EHT. We try to educate about Ben Simmons. He can educate us on Duck Hodges, and we can return the favor.
Hey, Duck might have an issue this week.
Duck Dynasty?
No, Hodges. The Bills.
Welcome to 2 Street.
Welcome to Tollman Joe's. Tollman Joe's in the heart of South Philly is Tony Bruno's home on Eagle Game Day. And your spot for free parking every Eagle Game Day. Get to Tollman Joe's 3 hours before kickoff.
What are we saying?
East Oregon Avenue. Hi, this is Tony Bruno. I'll see you on game day at Tollman
Say
Joe's.
what?
I guess somebody that he listens to.
Guys in South Jersey wants to know if
yeah.
sticking doors and windows
He's listening
is
to her?
a foundation problem, and this family-owned business
Fiance?
wants
I
to
mean,
help.
maybe for
They use
engaged.
over
That's
30
Gil
patent
talking about
warranties that
himself.
will repair Boeing and will replace cracked or leaky foundation walls. If your home is settling, Dry Guys will give you a lift. Call
It looks like this thing is
844-470-4808,
posted.
844-470-4808, or visit DryGuysOnAir.com. Take the first step. You'll be glad you did. Go to DryGuysOnAir.com.
All right, so I got this up now. Just need to make it in iTunes.
When you're injured on the
I'm going to
job,
send
your
AB a
family is
tweet
injured
just to
as
see if he
well.
responds to
Turn
me.
to a firm of legal attorneys that can help.
Tell him to come on.
That care and that you can count on. Go to injuredworkers.com from Malamut and Associates. Nobody plans to get injured. When it happens, you need injuredworkers.com. Get the help you need from injuredworkers.com. Go to injuredworkers.com right now.
This football season, visit the Great American Pub, where you'll find good food, great times, and good football. Any way you like it. It all comes together at the Great American Pub. Catch the game at any of the 3 Great American Pub locations in Conshohocken, Wayne, and Phoenixville. Go to thegreatamericanpub.com. The Great American Pub, where good food, great times, and good football mean your weekends are covered from start to finish. The Great American Pub, the preferred location of the Mason Aton Show. Make your next game out at the Great American Pub.
Health Update with Robin Stoloff, brought to you by the Wound Care Clinic of South Jersey and Jersey Shore Medical Alliance.
How protected are you from a home fire? According to the American Red Cross, we only have 2 minutes to get out of our home before getting stuck in the flames. It doesn't take much effort to avoid a tragedy. First, make sure you have smoke alarms in every bedroom and at least one on every floor. Set a reminder on your phone to refresh their batteries when you change the clocks at the beginning and end of
Sal
the
Tunis
renovation
just
time.
changed his
Also,
profile
never
pic
leave cooking
to a
unattended.
picture of him and his
Candles
new
will keep
bride
away
dancing
from
at their
anything that
wedding.
could catch fire.
Wow.
And make
Oh
sure
my
you
God.
unplug any chargers when not in use, especially if they're warm to the touch. Finally, if you don't have a fire extinguisher,
Wayne
it's a good
Johnson is
idea
using
to
a
get one.
rollabout
It can
right
keep
now.
a small
So I guess
problem
is he on a
from turning into
scooter?
big one.
I think
For
so.
more information,
Oh, boy.
visit redcross.org/fire and learn how to be protected. I'm Robin Stoloff for Health Update.
Brought to you by the Wound Care Clinic of South Jersey, expert care with a compassionate touch, and Jersey Shore Medical Alliance Sports Medicine and Aesthetics.
That's the sound of JCPenney's Sweet Sale Chocolate Bar Coupon. And that's the sound of seeing how much you save. Hurry to the Sweet Sale at JCPenney for our coupon giveaway. Coupons are limited, so come in early Thursday to Saturday for your chance at a chocolate bar coupon worth an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off. Talk about a sweet deal. JCPenney. Coupon valid 12/12/12/14. Giveaway info only while supplies last. Must be 18 or older. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
This is Wesley, the Riley Auto Parts story.
When I'm just getting off work, there's only so many hours left in the day, so I definitely don't want to spend all my time waiting in line for car parts. With O'Reilly, I can buy the parts I need online and pick them up on my way home. It's so quick and easy, I don't have to worry about losing daylight to get my car up and running.
Audible for Autism
This is
is a
pretty-
nonprofit organization serving the autistic community of Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley. It is our
These fucking phones. Fucking iPhones.
Wow, what's wrong?
You press on this to copy it, and it goes to your to put an event in your calendar. Like,
Oh yeah, I
they
know.
just they fucking blow.
I hate that shit. I try
I
to
don't
do
think
that
they're
too.
smarter than you.
Right.
Like the phone thinks it's smarter than me. No fucking way.
Same thing if somebody texts you a message that has a lot of text and there's a phone number in it.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to copy that
Right.
without it going right to the phone.
Right. It dials it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's stupid. Bullshit.
Every aspect of a live football game. To donate and for more information, go to audibleforautism.org. Audible for Autism, changing children's lives one person at a time. Audibleforautism.org.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the 76ers. WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.
I'm sorry, Josh. Did you get the Chuck stuff?
The Maze and Aton Show.
I do. I would just recommend because it's so long. Maybe you tell me where to pause it and then you talk and you comment along the way.
Okay, is that cool? Do you want us to keep our mics hot?
Yeah, that works best.
Perfect. Thank you, man. 609-403-0973. We have thoroughly neglected the text board, and I apologize. Half of that is on me. The other half is on Harry.
Right.
But we've got a lot of people responding to a lot of stuff, and we should get to that. We also have, now again, the idea is that we kept playing stuff for you to have reactions to and then hit us up on the text board. So you've got Sixers, you've got Embiid. We also played the Jaylen Brown stuff. People are responding to R.I.P. Nick Cannon.
Is that right?
There's a lot of things happening on the text board.
Well,
so.
yeah, and also the fact that the Eagles have yet to make a roster.
Well,
move.
yes, we opened up
You know?
with that. Correct. That's how long it felt like it was, not as far as getting through it, but just all the things we brought up in 1 hour. So,
Right.
yes, you can please respond to that as well. Before we get to the Charles and Shaq stuff that Josh has found for us, you want to just run through some of these texts?
Yeah, let's do it. Because we got Bob from Crossing Broad at 1:15.
Correct. Well,
and we
we'll
got
try to get him
Bruno
at 1:10.
1:30.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
try to get him in at 1:10. We'll see if we can pull him away from his class. Where the hell has Scott been all year? He was the best player for them that game. This was at 12:15 Boston. Scott, he's referring to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
How do you not recognize when you're depleted in a position? And it's the same thing with Greg Ward. Give these guys a shot.
Right.
How bad could it get? Just give these guys a shot.
No, you're right, but you got to give. Now, let's be fair, though. You got to give not only the player, but also the coaches that have been working with these guys all the while that they've been buried on the depth chart or on a practice squad or whatever. That if these guys have developed to the point where they can actually play and give you a little something.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
I mean, this Greg Ward guy he's been trying to do this for 3 years now, I think. You know, he's been cut, signed to the practice squad, cut, signed to the practice squad, elevated. You know, all the while he's been working, and when he's given the opportunity, he gave you something.
He did, and that's what we brought up yesterday and maintains, which is, hey man, Greg, and maybe the Eagles recognize this, even if it's this late in the year, I don't care, because they still do have a future in front of them the next 3 games. But Harry, to your point, and what we talked about thoroughly yesterday, maybe they do realize, hold on a second, there is a fire lit under Greg Ward and Boston Scott's ass to the point in which all they want to do is get out there and compete. There's something to that. We talk all the time about the intangibles, all this stuff. Hey man, you got a guy out there who, this could be Greg Ward's last NFL game coming up on Sunday. It's just as likely as he could go back to the practice squad and never play another snap as he could go on and catch 10 balls for 110 yards. Like, go out there. To bring it back to Eminem, you know, back to that 8 Mile track. You better use it before you lose it. Whatever the hell he said. You want more text or what?
I don't want more Eminem.
He made a new diss track going after Eminem. Yeah, we got that point, but we needed to know the specifics of the disc. The
diss.
Right.
Yes.
Not the disc. The disc. For that analogy to work, Wentz would have to be a supercharged version of Lamar Jackson and refusing to throw the ball long. Which analogy was that? See, this sometimes what happens is if we miss a text and we try to go back to it, there's not enough detail.
Right. So we don't really remember what you're referring to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Eminem dissed Nick Cannon last week on Fat Joe's new album. The track is called Lord Above. The album is called Family Ties, Ernie, and Brigantine. Well, I'll tell you this. Why would Eminem go after. I guess, the same reason why he went after Moby and these other easy targets.
He had Brian Baldinger in one of his lyrics.
Yes, he did.
I remember I played it for Baldy when I was doing a show with him.
And Baldy didn't know?
No, Baldy was unaware.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Mike Savage, speaking of which, puts a very interesting proposition out there.
All right.
At Mike Savage 610 on the text board. Nick Cannon's rap career died? When was it ever alive?
That's a good point. I was thinking the same thing, but I'm not really one to comment on such issues. But in order to
You're a
have
perceptive
something
individual.
die, it had to have lived.
Very true.
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
it's a very fair
Right.
assessment.
Like-
You're as an astute individual.
Like people say, oh, so and so's making a comeback. They never was.
Right.
You can't have a comeback if you never was.
Right.
Right.
You have to be at some point in order to come back to that.
Yeah.
I agree with
You
that.
had to have been somewhere.
Yes, and in this case, I don't know if he's been there specifically. All right, now, what are your thoughts on this? I did not plant this text. This came naturally,
Are
organically.
you sure this isn't one of the bots or like
I promise. Like a sex bot? Is that what you mean? One of those fake accounts on,
No,
on Twitter
no, like-
that's saying, hey, Harry.
No, like Twitter accounts that have like one follower that laud certain people.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
That's
Like
what I'm
they-
saying. That will DM you if they're open.
Right.
Hi, Harry.
Yeah.
Proposing a new segment for the show. Guess what Aton ordered from Amazon today?
Oh man, there was more boxes when I rolled up today.
Now,
at
where
your front
did
door.
this come from?
I don't know.
And how has this been enough of a topic of conversation where people are texting?
We
that?
talk about it all the
Do we?
time about your obsession with
ordering
all
things
the
on
stuff
Amazon?
People see when they're looking at the Periscope and the Twitch, all this crap that you continuously buy.
Well, it's all little trinkets.
Like now you're encroaching on the table where we do the show.
Look.
It's some stupid foosball game.
Somebody gave me this little foosball
Great.
table. I figured, why not? I'll put it up here.
Just what you
Jason or
need.
Lombo, somebody's in studio, and you can have fun with this in the break.
This has become like a tchotchke room.
Yeah, it's.
I'm not a tchotchke guy.
Well, isn't Tchotchke what they call Charles in Charge? Wasn't that his nickname?
I thought it was Chachi.
No, Chachi is from Chips, I think.
No, Chachi was from Happy Days.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did I think Chachi was from Chips? There's nobody on Chips who was nicknamed or named Chachi or Chotsky or Norm Chomsky.
No,
You sure?
I don't think so.
Noam Chomsky? I apologize. Not Norm. Nick Cannon is getting buried by Eminem, and Eminem didn't even say anything. It's like Alshon Jeffrey getting hurt last game without a contract.
Chips is Ponch.
Ponch?
Yes.
Okay, that's what that is.
Yeah.
All right, I thought it might have been.
Eric Estrada, I
Was
think, was
Ponch?
the actor.
Okay.
Yeah. Not Ponce de Leon.
No.
Yeah.
There's no better motivation than humiliation. Nick from Brigantine.
Exactly. Nick and I are on the same page.
I imagine you two are when it comes to that. Ben Simmons is great, but I worry about his hesitation at times, especially in crunch time. That's Matt from Bala Kinwood, who follows it up. Need more from Joe and Bully Ball. Matisse's shot has been masterful the last 2 weeks. Hashtag growing a bomber.
Growing a bomber.
Oh, look at
Exactly. I'm telling you.
Matt from Bala. Nice tweets there, man.
It's good stuff.
Dan from EHT. Charles was a great champion. Oh, he never was a champion. We'll let you hear what those guys had to say in a sec before we get to Bob from Crossing Broad. Glenn loves the Greek freak, probably. Shoots 30% from 3. Ben can do that and hurt the team. That's another thing. I don't want him hurting the team if he's launching 10 or 9.
No, I don't need him shooting that many. I just need the threat of the shot.
All right, now finally we have some information.
All right.
Nick Cannon is dating Eminem's ex-girlfriend,
Oh,
Mariah Carey.
Here we go. She's dating him.
Thanks, Ernie.
She gets around.
Well, look, a lot of these celebrity circles are incestuous.
I mean, trust me, I would
It's
I would
why-
take a run at that.
Sure,
I mean,
sure. Although it's why you have the same 6 or 7 super hyper popular Instagram / Kardashian type model being recycled around the NBA. You know the one that Simmons was with, Kendall. She goes back and forth.
Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, you've got Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Kuz is involved in this.
Kuz.
Yeah. There you go. Now this is the song we would parody. It's ironic how it all comes
Really?
back, isn't it?
This is the one we do the lyrics to?
That's what Brett Brown said. All I want for Christmas is a 3-pointer.
Okay, so it's her version, is what you're saying.
What version would you like to do?
I don't know.
Has Bing Crosby done one?
Probably. Andy Williams.
There you go.
Perry Como.
Has Has somebody done it on, like, has Charlie Daniels done it on a fiddle?
Oh, that would be good.
That would be pretty good.
That would be great.
I find it ironic. I don't understand that.
What?
That text. Something
What are
about
you,
the
Alanis Morissette?
No, I just.
You know there's a Broadway show now about her songs?
Why would there be a...
It's a hit.
Really?
Yes. She had one album, Jagged Little Pill, back in '95. That was album of the year. And I actually bought it and
Well, there
saw
are
her
like
live.
three songs, I think, that were pretty top.
Oh, there's like 5 songs.
That
were
pop
up
from
there.
that?
Yeah,
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the whole thing was good. But, and I actually predicted to a couple of my buddies, when I bought the CD early, saw her live in a club early, and I said, this girl's going to hit, man. She's going to be huge. And she was huge for like a couple of years. Then her life, she got happy. And all of a sudden, nobody cared about her music anymore.
Because it wasn't... It would be like if Kurt Cobain lived long enough to
Exactly.
be happy.
Yes.
Right. It'd be
Right.
like, dude, what are you talking
It's
about?
like a blues singer
Yeah.
singing the blues.
That's
All of a
even
sudden,
better.
their life turns out great.
That's
They're no
even
longer
better.
good at singing the blues.
Yeah, you can't do that. You need to either evolve and continue to find ways to be miserable.
Right.
Or find a
Like
new
I do.
genre.
That's
Exactly.
what I do.
You'd be a perfect blues singer. Now, in a different life, think about this.
Yeah.
If you weren't doing this, people say, oh, what would you do if you weren't a radio star? And, oh, I'd drive a cab, or, I'd fish. You'd be a blues singer.
I'd be a caddy.
No, I'm telling you, man, you would be one of the best. You'd be better than Bo.
Yeah?
Not Bo Jackson.
Bo Diddley.
Yeah, exactly right.
I'd be Bo Diddley's squat.
I'm
That's
telling
what
you,
I'd be.
man, it would be masterful. It would be masterful.
Oh.
Dan from EHT, the Sixers are constructed perfectly. Ben is calm and cool with intelligence. Ben 3-ball versus China team, and Carson's late performance versus the Giants. Okay, that's what LFL. Thank you, sir. For that analogy to work, Wentz would have to be a supercharged version of Lamar Jackson and refusing to throw the ball long. No, I don't think that it's... Don't get caught up, Larry, in the specific, like the variable. My point of it was something in Carson Wentz's repertoire / looking at Carson Wentz's list of accomplishment. That shouldn't be looked at, what he did against the Giants, as anywhere near the top. Much like Ben Simmons hitting a 3-pointer against that Chinese basketball team shouldn't be looked at anywhere near him hitting a 3-pointer in an NBA game, Harry. And when you're up by 30 over the Cavs, that shouldn't be looked at like some major accomplishment. Ben has done so much more, and Carson has done so much more. That was, I guess, my point.
Okay, now, Gil is listening to the show again today.
Well, I like that.
So he's on vacation. It sounds like a staycation. And he's listening to the show because he chimed in on text about your discussion about
Eminem?
Embiid, about who is getting to him, who is advising him now to be less fun.
Mm-hmm.
Gil says, don't forget about his model girlfriend, maybe his fiance. So that she might be somebody that he listens to. Because you said he only listens to himself, his agent, and his shoe company. So he's adding in the girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever she is.
I think, man, that would be like some Yoko stuff.
John, yeah.
Seriously. I mean, you've got, hold on a second, man. Like, you've got the team, like, think about it. That would be, and I can't even assume that, because we're talking about somebody who is next to or in Joel Embiid's circle that finds it beneficial. And circle could mean the team as well, that finds it beneficial for Joel Embiid to not be as active and fun and crazy and on the home court as he mentioned. So my question in listening to all that is, who is around Joel Embiid that finds it better in Joel Embiid's interest to not be the
To
person?
stifle him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if it's his fiance, my God, I don't even know. Are they engaged? I hate to jump.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If it's that woman, then my God, again, and I'm not even jumping to that conclusion because I think it's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be self-destruction from the jump right there.
Bob's ready.
Okay, but before we get Bob, Schefter tweeted not too long ago that the 49ers have signed Jordan Matthews to a 1-year deal.
Jordan Matthews is lucky. Well, remember, though, they lost a guy to injury.
Yeah.
Not Samuel. It was the other kid they lost.
Yeah, I forget.
So they need somebody. They need a body on that team.
Yeah.
But the trade that they made for Emmanuel Sanders.
No, I know, but I'm just saying he's not available now. For the,
Oh, is that
for
what
the
you were saying?
Eagles. Like,
Got
if
it.
the Eagles were thinking of going there again.
Got
he's
it.
signed. All
Got
right,
it.
let's go to the Lighthouse Insurance guest line and bring on our buddy Bob Wenkel at Bob Wenkel on Twitter, at Bob Wenkel CB, I think, on Twitter, right?
Correct.
Bob?
What's up, guys? How we doing today?
Hey, buddy.
Doing great. It's been a while.
Yeah, good talking to you.
Well, a lot has happened with the Phillies, and I thought of you yesterday. It'd be great to get you on to just sort of give your thoughts about their activity thus far in this hot stove. And first of all, I'm really impressed with this hot stove. I mean, we didn't have this last year until the very, very end. There was no hot stove. I like this stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to get a little like pre-Christmas action here. You know, you're not waiting until spring training, something to talk about. You can kind of project out a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies have been really active. Everybody's been very active in the early going here. You know, if the Phillies go specifically, obviously the Didi Gregorius signing yesterday is a big thing, and, you know, 1 year, $14 million. And I think because it's a short-term deal, and the Phillies have some moving parts in that infield right now with Alex Bohm, you know, potentially being up here later this summer, the move makes some sense. You know, it's hard to dislike the move in a vacuum. I think that my biggest takeaway with the Phillies right now is that I like everything that they're doing, yet I'm simultaneously not that optimistic about how that translates in 2020. I don't know where you guys are at on it, but I look at this and say, are they better than the Atlanta Braves right now? No. Are they better than the Washington Nationals right now? No. And so they kind of, you know, I appreciate the aggressiveness, I appreciate the willingness to spend, but I kind of feel like it's all for naught if they don't go over the tax or they show creativity, which is something that they haven't really been able to do. You know, Matt Klentak and this front office and this ownership has thrown big money at certain players, and that's great, but they haven't really been able to make those value moves that have paid off yet. And they're going to have to do one or the other, or they're going to be a third-place team again.
Well, what happens if they make a move for a Chris Bryant?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the type of move that probably pushes them into 90-win consideration, that maybe makes them a team that's on par with the elite in the National League or certainly in the NL East. If they were in a different division right now, I'd feel a lot better about their outlook or their prognosis. I just think it's those two teams that are in there with them that just creates such an obstacle. If they play in a division like even like the AL Central that lacks like a truly elite team, or even the NL Central, there's a lot of depth in that division. Cincinnati's going to be a lot better, obviously the Brewers, the Cubs, but again, not an elite team in that division in my estimation, but in the NL East, the Nationals and the Braves both have the potential to be elite squads, and I just think that presents a huge obstacle for the Phillies. You go out and you get Bryant, obviously that changes the dynamics of things. If you go out and sign Anthony Rendon, obviously that changes the dynamic of things, but I'm not overly optimistic that they're going to do that. It seems like they're kind of content, barring a situation just falling into their lap, that they're going to progress and move forward with the infield that they currently have.
Do you think it's something they simply could have spent more to be more of a contender and closer to those teams? And I know that the obvious names like Cole and Strasburg were out there, but is it more a matter of just spending middle and even less money than you would on a Wheeler just to kind of bolster things up? Like, could they have spent their way out of not being a contender with the other two teams right now?
I don't think so. I think that this is where, and we've talked about it the last few years, that their inability to draft or develop, I don't know what the primary issue is, but, you know, it's a combination of those two. I think that's really showing up now. You know, I mean, they've done what they need to do, or what a good team should have to do in terms of spend. You know, the commitment financially is there, but they're just a wretched recent history in drafting and developing players and getting them to the major league level where they're solid contributors is really catching up with them. I think that where they're spending the money and how they spent their money is fine. I don't think you can criticize that, but I just get the sense that because of that, and because of that void that you have in terms of players coming up, prospects, meaningful pieces coming up, and maybe Spencer Howard and Alex Bohm change the dynamics of this. Maybe we're singing a little bit of a different tune come, July, August. But I just think that that's what's kind of holding them up at this point.
What do you think? Do you think they're done, number one? And if not, is there another pitcher that they can acquire?
I don't think they're done. I mean, I just don't know if that's going to be more of a mid-tier move or if you might still see that transaction that makes you go, wow, and now we're really talking. Now we're getting serious. I expect them to add. I think that they, I talk a lot about the infield, and certainly there are multiple paths that you can take to becoming a very good team, becoming a contender this season. But when I look at the rotation, and I don't know how you two feel about it, but I go, okay, like Aaron Nola, I think is a 1, 1-2, worst case scenario. I think Zach Wheeler has the ceiling to be a 2.
I like him at 3.
Yeah, I think Zach Wheeler's a really good 3. But then after that, like, what do you have? Is Jake Arrieta a 3 or a 5?
Right.
You trust Zach Eflin's late season rebound from last year, in which he went against the coaching staff's recommendations and he kind of reinvented himself on the fly. Do you think that translates to this season? Or is he more of a 4 or 5 guy? Do you want to do another year of Nick Velasquez? How quickly can Spencer Howard contribute? So I just think there's so many question marks in that staff. It's really a bullpen that's not lights out by any stretch. Just to me, it seems like a team that kind of is like a 83 to 85 win team. If every single thing breaks right, maybe they're a little bit more than that, but I'm not overly optimistic about that possibility.
And if they do not bring in, and I don't know how they would, maybe by trade, an arm that you could point to would be conveniently in between Nola and Wheeler to be a definitive 2. I'll set the win total right now at 84. Do you take the over or under? And I understand I'm asking you right now before even January, but that's part of the beauty of this.
Yeah, you know what? I would. And here's why. Here's the one thing that kind of makes me feel like that's probably a smart play. This ownership wants to win. They put it out there. The moves that they're making aren't to be an 82-win team this season. It's not to replicate essentially what we've watched the past 2 seasons. And I think that they know that they're kind of at a breaking point here. Like, they know that this city is ready for a winner. It's waited long enough. And I do think that if they have, like, you're not going to get that Andy McPhail, if we do, we do, if we don't, we don't stuff this summer. I think that if they are hovering a shade above 500, they're going to go for it. They're going to be a little bit more aggressive in the summertime. So if they stay reasonably healthy and they keep themselves afloat, I think that they go for it this time and kind of step on the gas. So I'll see that they get over 84. I don't know that they're a 90-win team, but I'll take the over on 84. And right now, I believe that the number, the last one I saw was 85.5. That was this morning. So that jumped up a full game after the Gregorius deal. So, your odd makers are giving the Phillies about 1 extra win after that deal.
All right, Bob, last one, real quick. Eagles, Redskins. The Eagles are favored by 4.5. Is there any kind of a nugget that you have as far as a trend that could make us feel really good about this weekend?
No. You know what? Forget the trend. I'm a big trend guy.
Yeah.
Let's just say what it is. Now, can the Eagles win this game? Can they cover? Sure they can. But you look at how poorly Carson Wentz plays without Johnson. I believe he's 3-10. He starts without Lee Johnson. I mean, that's not an ATS trend. That's he doesn't play as well without his all-pro right tackle.
Right.
I believe his passer rating, I read this.
Drops 20-some points.
It's not good.
Yeah, 20-some points.
Yeah.
It's not good. So that's what I look at, and for that reason, no, I certainly would not bet on the Eagles, but we'll be rooting for them.
All right, Bob. Great
thanks,
stuff,
Bob.
man. At Bob Wenkel, CB on Twitter. Bob from Crossing Broad on the Lighthouse Insurance guest line. Have your renewals been increasing over the years? Well, when was the last time you actually reviewed all your commercial insurance coverages? You got to do it with a pro. I'm talking a pro of 25 plus years in the business. Managing partner Kevin McAdams. He's at Lighthouse right now. Give him a call at 800-691-1686 or visit him online at lighthouse.ins.biz. You see I got my Lighthouse
I do. I see you
fleece
repping.
on today.
You're repping. It's good stuff, man.
We got Bruno next.
We'll cross the stream. Here's the 8 Mile soundtrack. You better use it before you lose it. It's the moment, Harry. You better own it. Isn't that what he said? Isn't that what he said?
Oh, my God.
Here's the thing. People think that I have this anti-Eminem bias or something like that. My only gripe with Eminem has been the deification of stuff that's just far from his best work. And it's unfortunate, but the stuff that Eminem did best is stuff that you'll have to find before Dr. Dre.
But isn't a lot of that a problem across multiple sections of society?
Yes, and it's unfair at some point for me to isolate one thing, but you have to start somewhere to untie a ball of knots, right?
Sounds like a problem for a cat, not you.
Hey, man, this whole country is a big ball of knots. It's just a matter about where you want to start untying. I just feel like if you were to find stuff that he did before he got with Dre, you would see why when you hear the latest stuff, it's eh. But look, anybody and everybody is better than Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is the New York Giants of rap music.
Nick Cannon has no values in his drum line.
Well, you know, Harry still owns that on DVD, right?
Back after this.
You're listening to the Maze and Aton Show, presented by Dry Guys of South Jersey. Go to dryguysonair.com and get the help you need with your wet basement. dryguysonair.com.
South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia Flyers hockey is 97.3 ESPN. Listen as Tim Saunders and Steve Coates.
All right, so what's that?
He must be in school, steps on his grandstand, and somebody comes up and asks him a question.
Yeah.
And then the phone went little shit for a while.
Yeah.
So, you need to chill, man.
All right, so I tweeted that out. You see it?
What?
The link to yesterday's show. People want it.
Looking for an exciting new experience? Come join our friends at Bury the Hatchet. Take part in one of the fastest growing sports in the nation, axe throwing. Feel the thrill of axe throwing and compete against your friends and family in one of our 14 BYOB indoor facilities. Our axe masters will teach everyone how to stick it and keep your party moving with a variety of games like you've never experienced.
It's Josh testing. Oh, Tom and Summers Point. Did you see that?
Time out with your friends. Bury the Hatchet will give you a night you'll never forget. Winter leagues are forming now, as well as our special Maze and Aton League for all you listeners. Bury the Hatchet is the East Coast premier axe throwing company with locations right in your backyard in Cherry Hill and Tom's River, plus Philadelphia, then Salem, Horsham, and King of Prussia. Use our promo code HARRY50 for 50% off. Your first 2 hours will be 50% off. Just use our promo code HARRY50. Bury the Hatchet. Go to burythehatchet.com.
Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse is located on the second floor of the historic Provident Bank Building in the heart of Philadelphia, near Rittenhouse. At Davio's, it's all about the guest. Davio's offers private dining rooms available for large and small groups. Gracious hospitality and an attendant dining room staff provide every guest an exceptional experience. At Davio's, it's all about the guest. Join us for a power lunch, happy hour, or Sunday brunch. At Davio's, it's all about the guest.
Covering Philadelphia and the suburbs with a tremendous history of great success in the real estate market, meet Kristen Thompson. A proud graduate of Villanova, Kristen has been in the real estate business for 20 years and specializes in buyers, sellers, and investors. You can call Kristen directly at the Keller Williams Realty Group, 215-429-2451, 215-429-2451. Kristen Thompson, your real estate advocate who will work tirelessly on your behalf while ensuring the sale or the purchase is the easiest part of the process.
There are so many choices when it comes to selecting the right financial institution. Start with the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. We're right here in your city. We're also the official credit union of Temple University, and anyone who lives, works, worships, and studies in Philadelphia can open an account. With convenient locations throughout our city of brotherly love. Also online at pfcu.com with free online and mobile banking. We're not here for our profit, here for yours. Federally insured by NCUA.
This season, the Eagles pregame starts at Dunkin'. DD Perks members score a $1 medium hot or iced coffee on Eagles game day. So don't just celebrate the Eagles from the sidelines. Head to Dunkin' and get a kick before the kickoff. Plus, DD Perks members get a $1 medium hot or iced coffee the day after every Eagles win this season. Just use your Perks enrolled Dunkin' card or show your loyalty ID. Eagles fans run on Dunkin'. Excludes cold brew. Limit 1 per guest per visit. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
If you're a golfer golfer looking to pick up a few strokes on the golf course, you should add these 4 words into your training and lifestyle. Traditional, Thai, yoga, massage. A Thai massage is relaxing and energizing without oil and designed to increase your flexibility. Try it now. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, including a better score. Call Asan Thai Massage right now. 215-663-9376. 215-663-9376. Asan Thai Massage. 90 to heal.
Here's a message for contractors and business owners concerned about the bottom line. Make sure your commercial insurance coverage is right. Call Lighthouse Commercial Insurance. They can help. Let Lighthouse put together a comprehensive plan that is right for you for the right money. With 25 years of experience in the Philadelphia market, they know the most reputable and the most aggressive carriers. Give my friend Kevin a call at 800-691-1686 or visit them online today at www.lighthousein's.biz.
Welcome to 2 Street and welcome to Tollman Joe's. Tollman Joe's in the heart of South Philly is Tony Bruno's home on Eagles game day and your spot for free parking every Eagles game day. Get to Tollman Joe's 3 hours before kickoff, 26 East Oregon Avenue. Hi, this is Tony Bruno. I'll see you on game day at Tollman Joe's.
So you think you have unlimited data?
Recalculating.
Think again. If you have unlimited data on a network you can't trust, your data is limited, and so are you. Set your smartphone free with the new unlimited plans from Total Wireless. Get 4 lines with unlimited data on the nation's best 4G LTE network with 100 gigabytes at high speed, then 2G for just $24 a month per line.
You have arrived at your destination.
Get the new unlimited plans. Total Wireless, total confidence. Available at Target. See terms and conditions at TotalWireless.com.
This is Joe Krause of Krause's Coats inviting you to donate a slightly worn coat or jacket and help kids in need stay warm this winter. Go to Krause's Coats Facebook page. Happy holidays.
You're listening to Mays and Aton with Harry Mays and Aton Shander on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
Back?
Mays and Aton, we are back. Of course, we just had Bob Wenkel from Crossing Broad on the Lighthouse Insurance guest line. And now, each and every Wednesday at 1:30, you know what we do. We cross the streams with Tony Bruno. You can follow him on Twitch at Tony Bruno Show. And Mays and Aton on Twitch, right?
Correct.
As we cross the streams. Tony!
Hello. Perfect with that. Yes, Luigi's here with me. We're in the basement down in the wine cellar.
Right, I'm watching you.
We're breaking it all down today. We got a dog in the studio. We got Luigi's dog, Penny, is here.
Nice.
And I know Aton's dog is always around.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I made a big appearance in the last segment. I see you got a T-shirt on. It says, what does it say? Keep calm and Bruno?
Yeah. My boy AJ in San Antonio made this. Two things that don't go together right there.
Yeah, exactly. That is an oxymoron. Isn't it?
Bruno, and it's an outrage at the bottom. Right?
Oh, okay.
Now, okay.
Now, are those available to purchase?
Breaking news, right? Jordan Matthews has re-signed with the San Francisco 49ers.
That's
Right. Yeah, I saw that. Schefter tweeted that about 20 minutes ago. So I guess you can't go back for, what, a 4th time?
No, you can't, but he's going to the playoffs at least.
Right.
Even if he doesn't play much, he'll be on the team that's going to maybe go to the Super Bowl. That's how good they are.
Yeah, they are. That was one of the more entertaining games of the year on Sunday with them in New Orleans. How about the play from that tight end is my favorite player to watch right now in the NFL. Kittle.
Oh, yeah. He's the up-and-comer, man. Hey, we knew he was good last year, but he keeps getting better and better. And he doesn't even look like a guy that would be a great tight end. He looks like a dude that he smells, smoking weed down in the Embarcadero. Kittle reminds me of a shocky but humble.
So
Yeah.
I interviewed Kittle at the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys had a chance to when he was doing the Skittles thing. And one of the parts that he was involved with was this karaoke thing for Skittles. So I had the producer back home play some music, and we asked him, and he was like, "Walking on the Sun." So we played that god-awful song, "Walking on the Sun," the instrumental, and he's got a pretty damn good voice.
Oh, yeah?
He sounds better than the regular jackass who sings the song.
Really? Yeah, the reason why we didn't interview Kittle is because while we could have interviewed Kittle, Tony's got me on air trying to arm wrestle Ken Shamrock.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we couldn't get George Kittle. We like the physical challenges on the show. We're doing a Twitch show.
No, I spoke with Kyle Turley.
That
as
was
well.
Turley, yeah. 'Cause I ate him. Yeah.
They didn't do anything.
They don't do anything to Aton.
No.
He needs. That's like a. That's like
placebo.
that's like a 3-finger vodka glass to me. It doesn't even have an effect.
But Harry and I ate a whole one.
Yeah.
And it didn't affect Luigi, Harry, and I had a whole gummy, and they're not that big.
No.
And I was absolutely high as a kite for the entire show.
Placebo.
No, it wasn't placebo. I've never had one before. And then I found out you're not supposed to have the whole one the first time. You're supposed to break it in third. Yeah, you're supposed to eat like a third of it.
No, Aton would eat the whole bag.
Yeah.
The whole bag, as I said.
Big. By the way, I'm breaking news from our buddy John McMullen.
No.
Just in on the ice. John McMullen says Brandon Graham got all of his defensive line mates Louis Vuitton travel bags, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a roaring. Oh, great. They're going to look great coming off the plane again or the bus. Wonderful. Another fashion shoot.
Wow, is that so they can have an extra bag to pack up to leave town after the season ends in 3 weeks?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Come on now, we got the big bus ride going. At least now that bus trip to Washington. It means something in the first half.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have to cancel the bus and move that bus, as they used to do on the TV show. Move that bus. Now at least we can still do our trip from Toll Man Joe's down to Washington. Now you coming out? You guys making the bus trip?
No.
Oh man.
No.
Oh man, I hate to do it.
I can't sit in a bus for 3 hours each way.
You hate to do it to me for not going on a trip where I'm not going to get compensated? Wow. Radio has surely changed, Tony.
Wait a minute, it's going to be free Carson burgers and food and drink and tickets, and we get to hang in the camaraderie.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if I won't even say more, if you can match what I'm getting paid for another event that day, I'll gladly go down on the bus with you guys. It shouldn't come out of your pocket. I'll leave it at that.
I got to do Sid Rosenberg's show.
Nothing. Only lint will be coming out of your pocket.
I might have to put the Redskins in a teaser that day.
You see the lines going down, Harry. Start opened at 6.5, and now the Eagles only
4.5, yeah.
I like
Crazy.
that better than the other way.
Kerrigan is out. I mean, he's always plays well against the Eagles. Why is the line dropping, Harry?
I don't know, man. I can't figure it out because, you got to figure that a couple of days of a defensive coaching staff breaking down film of what the Eagles have left at the wide receiver position and figuring out, all right, well, these are the type of routes they're comfortable with Greg Ward, running. He can't do everything, so there's got to be an easier way to defend. Take Zach Ertz out of the picture. It has to be the objective, and take your chances with Carson and what he has left at wide receiver.
Goddard, basically.
Yeah, right. And
Did you see all those guys? We played the game on our show a little earlier called "Come On Down, You're the Next Practice Squad Player." To step up. They got 3 wide receivers on the practice.
I know.
Squad.
Yeah, Markin Michelle, Marcus Green, and Robert Davis.
He's looking at it.
And I know Mike Kay did a whole thing about it. He's your NFL insider there. Mike Kay does a good job. And he broke down why not use those guys. Some of them played in the NFL. Some of them played on the practice. Some of them played in preseason.
I think Luigi has one of them on a fantasy team.
Yes, he does. I did it until I got bounced in the playoffs last week.
No, I mean, I said, on Tuesday after the game that if any of those 3 guys wasn't good enough or deemed good enough to sign and put on the regular roster last week, when is it ever going to be?
Exactly. No, you know what? We went through the whole AV, the latest breakdown.
Right.
Just when you think, everybody thinks, Antonio Brown's out there, he looks like he's calm today, and then all of a sudden he goes off again.
Yeah, on Ben.
Literally lost his mind. Why would anybody bring him in? Even if the Eagles were down to 0 receivers, would you still bring him in?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if they're allowed to at this point.
Yeah, I don't think there must be something where he's under investigation and no team can really go out and sign him. Because the Eagles aren't the only team that need wide receivers at this point, right? Yeah.
Well, look, the San Francisco 49ers clearly need wide receivers.
He goes on a rant and then he apologizes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Next day he goes on 15 more rants.
Yeah.
So why would anybody hire him? Seriously, I'm worried about this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He's not worried about me.
Yeah, he's unstable.
He is unstable, and I know unstable. I gave you a name yesterday, Tony. I said I don't know. Who knows if they made the call
gave a call to the much maligned wide receiver from Tennessee, Rashard Matthews, who just up and retired earlier in the year. Young guy, he's a Devontae Parker type player,
Mm-hmm.
and he retired because he wasn't happy the way he was getting used in Tennessee. I mean, I wouldn't have been happy if I was getting the ball thrown by Mariota either. But
Yeah.
now he's sitting on the couch kind of hanging out. Maybe give him a call and say, hey, why don't you come over here and catch some footballs from Carson, see if we can, revive your career a little bit. He's 24 years old, for God's sake.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's definitely a name that I would bring in and at least see what kind of shape he's in.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
You're going to give the guy a call. I mean, if he's been staying in shape at all.
Right.
He's 6'3", runs a 4.5. I mean, it's amazing, though. From what I've read, and they're practicing today, they haven't brought anybody.
No.
That's what kills me. Is that they're saying, you know what? They're going all Coach Norman Dale. My team's on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
My team's on the floor.
Right.
And you know what Norman Dale said in one of the most famous moments, at least in my career? How many times are we going to pass the ball before we shoot, boys?
Well, it's talking to Carter at 56. We want to stay in the game.
No,
Yeah.
50. You have to throw how many times you have to throw the ball to try to beat the New York Giants on Monday Night Football? 50.
How about this guy Boston Scott though? What a game he had.
Unbelievable, man. I'm happy this guy's stuff.
Yeah.
We saw him earlier in the year returning kicks and he fumbles, and then people saying, don't put him out there, this guy's going to fumble, you need to win these games. He goes out there and gives them the spark. And then, and I know people are talking about signature wins when you're beating a 2-9 team, but Carson, for all the maligning he takes, I thought he came up big on Monday night, especially with the weapons that he had. I know
Yeah.
he got Hurts, and obviously the Giants could cover Hurts, but he still had to make plays with other guys around him, and that was an impressive second half.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Now, can they do it again?
Full game, not a half.
Yeah, for a full game,
It'd
right?
be nice.
Yeah.
Especially against Dallas.
Because I don't know, if you fall down 17-3 against, with this lack of weaponry on the road. Now I know it's on the road and it's going to be filled with Eagle fans, but still, it's not the same as playing at the Link, is it?
No, that place
No.
is dump. Absolute
I'll be there
dump.
on the bus. I'll have the bison burger. I'll have the cold beverages. And I'll be ready. I will be ready on Sunday.
Now, what time did you guys convene down at Tollman Joe's?
7 a.m., baby.
Wow.
We got to get the seat assignments on the bus.
That is early, man.
Burgers, grilling. We got to get this whole baby going.
That's too early.
Fun Sunday down in D.C. Then we'll go outside and protest in front of the White House. And whatever we need to protest, we'll protest.
Well, that is a tough ask to go down to D.C., man.
Yeah, 7 a.m. Woo. All right, Tony. Right.
Just
2 hours to line up and get your burgers.
Sit in that bus for 3 hours.
I can't take buses, man.
3 hours to D.C. We jump right on 95 on a Sunday morning. How long is it going to take to get to FedEx?
2.5.
In that look, you're not driving.
Two
You're
and a
not
half.
driving your speed, your Boxster, man. You're driving that big bus.
I'm not driving anything.
Is our buddy Crown Royal Steve driving the bus?
Hey, you know what? He's on it. And we just got a CDL license, too.
Yeah.
Look at Harry's laughing like, you want a CBD license, too. I think.
Yeah. That's Aton. Aton has that.
Yep. CBD.
CBDs. All right, guys.
Yeah.
There he is, Tony Bruno. Luigi in there today. Robin's out in Arizona right now.
So I've got more from our buddy John McMullen, but it has to do with Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we should hit this coming
Good stuff?
up. No,
No?
not good. No. Even more infuriating when you add the lack of movement by this Philadelphia Eagles team. Not to be excused with the lack of movement in Nelson Aguilar's knee. Top 4 NFL offenses in percentage of total snaps with a fullback this season. Vikings, Niners, Ravens, Saints.
Yeah, notice where all those teams are going? To the playoffs.
Back after this.
Listen to Mays and Aton anywhere.
Can you focus on something? We'll start today's show.
Download the 97.3 ESPN mobile app now. 97.3ESPN.com/app. This is the radio home of Philadelphia Eagles football. This Sunday, the Eagles look to sweep the series with the Washington Redskins.
Peterson behind him. First down. Play goes to Peterson, and he's hooked up, thrown down at the line of scrimmage.
The countdown to kickoff show with Tony Bruno starts at 10 a.m. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 1 p.m. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey.
football season, are you? You better be college with a huge day on Saturday, pro football on Sunday. Make sure you bet with the best. My guys at the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, Parks Casino and Sportsbook. My guys at Parks Casino and Sportsbook have it all in person or online. Download the Parks Casino Sportsbook app right now in the App Store. Go to parkscasino.com/CA. Use promo code SWEET, SW.
Like Ricky Vaughn in Major League?
To get a risk-free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit.
Gil?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know.
ParksCasino.com/PA and use promo code SWEET to get your risk-free bet of up to $250. Parks Casino and Sportsbook. My guys, they should be the guys you trust as well. Place all your favorite sports bets, point spreads, money lines, even line, in-game betting. Sign up now, get a risk-free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit. Promo code SWEET.
What about
Get your
Mark and
risk-free bet of up
Michelle?
to $250. Risk-free bet
That's Sony Michelle's brother. He's on the practice squad. He's a wide receiver.
It's human nature to care for one another.
Nelson Aguilar.
It can be as simple as sharing an umbrella, holding the door, or lending a hand. At Independence Blue Cross, we've been doing our part too for the last 80 years, providing access to the largest network of doctors and hospitals, as well as offering nurse health coaches and gym reimbursements. Because we believe there's caring in all of us. Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at ibx.com.
Looking for a home improvement contractor? Look at
Nice
Experience.
that Jimmy
We've
Kempski
got
waits
30
until
years
2
under the
o'clock
same
to start
name.
his Eagles
Very
chat.
unusual in this business.
Wasn't it usually?
We excel at indoor projects.
Wasn't it usually during our times?
I don't know, but he's saying right now he's doing it at 2.
Entire editions. We've introduced products for national manufacturers and won awards for our work. Look at who does the work. With VSP, the owner and the foreman of 23 years are always part of the team. Look for fair terms. VSP asks for no more money down than the law allows in this area. Our pricing is never the lowest and usually not the highest. We deliver great value for the money. Looking for a home improvement contractor who will produce what they promise? Look to VSP Home Remodeling. Call Kevin Kennedy at 215-364.
Is it raining?
No, it's just a little cool.
Or email him at vsphome@verizon.net. Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse is located on the second floor of the historic Provident Bank Building in the heart of Philadelphia, near Rittenhouse. At Davio's, it's all about the guest. Davio's offers private dining rooms available
The
for
what?
large and
The
small
Tina
groups.
text. She's asking us about Aguilar, and it plays into the whole thing with what you said.
Tina 444?
Yep. She texted us.
Power lunch, happy hour, or Sunday brunch. At Davio's, it's all about the
Tina
guest.
444. Davio's.
ThaiMassage.com.
Give me
Traditional
something
Thai yoga
makes
massage.
his
Deep tissue massage reaches deeper
Twitter
layers of
avatar
muscles. It's
from his
used to break
wedding.
down knots and relieve pressure points
It's so
throughout the body.
strange, isn't
This
it?
massage is beneficial for athletes, those who sit or stand for long periods of time, people with multiple
What's up,
sclerosis,
Isan?
sciatica, rotor cuff issues, and many other muscle
What's up,
related
Isan?
discomfort or problems. Call ISSAN ThaiMassage.com.
They gave us a window from 11 to 4 today to arrive with the countertop and put it in. 11 to 4. Like, that's worse than Comcast's windows.
5-hour window?
Yeah. So they were supposed to call an hour beforehand. I
Did
guess
they
when
call
they
you
had- Well, they're supposed to call my wife, and then if I'm doing the show, she's gonna run home.
Well, they haven't called yet,
She
right?
hasn't heard from them.
Oh, you should be okay then.
Call 844.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if they call now, that means they get there by 3. Like, we're at the end.
You'll be glad you did. Go to Dry Guys on air.
I'm gonna give the.
What's up, fellas?
Oh shit! I have to get the check. I have to get the check. I've been working at iHeart, and the place doesn't open by the time I leave. So when I'm done at iHeart, the place is closed. So what's today? Wednesday? Fuck, 9:15.
Get the daily specials on Facebook and find your way to Screwball Sports Bar and Grill in King of Prussia. Screwballs, where sports people go to watch the game.
Now through December 31st, for every $25 gift card purchase at the Cheesecake Factory.
30 seconds.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Factory restaurants, you'll receive
Unless you want to grab it. No, you're not going that way, right?
the new year. Visit thecheesecakefactory.com for more details.
All right, I'm gonna have to grab it today. I'm gonna have to grab it tonight when I'm done at iHeart. Come here, bud.
Why do we need it today?
We don't. It'd be nice to cash that check, right?
I haven't cashed my check from October yet.
This is Mays and Aton with Harry Mays and Eitan
We haven't paid Joe yet, right?
97.3
I don't know.
ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
We got a text, 609-403-0973 from our friend, Tina 444.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Checking in?
Yeah, always nice to hear from Tina. We always read her text. What do you make of Aguilar's use of the word stalemate? And that's what I was alluding to before the break about John McMullen tweeting that Nelson Aguilar said he's at a stalemate when it's regarding his knee and playing this Sunday. And he says he's going to let Doug Peterson handle the timetable questions regarding his knee. That does not sound like a man 150 on Wednesday before a game on Sunday that is going to play or even excited about playing.
I'm glad you included the word excited, because I watched some of the video of the media talking to him in front of his locker. He does not look like a guy who is anxious to get back on the field. At this point, I hate to be Mr. Body Language reader, but I can't avoid it. Like he doesn't sound. You know how guys answer those questions. There's every week guys are getting interviewed that are injured, and you kind of get this idea. Like, I'm really hoping I can give it a go, or I want to be out there for my team. Something that gives you the idea that they really don't want to be on the sidelines. I'm not getting that vibe from him.
But you got that vibe from, not that vibe, you didn't get that vibe from Alshon, right? And that's what the whole issue has been, is that there's been this assumption or criticism that Aguilar has been, roped into a bad crowd by Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the assumption?
Well, I think some people are making that leap. I don't, I know I
No,
haven't. But
I'm not either. But
Yeah.
I'm saying that to the people who are already assuming that Alshon Jeffrey is checked out and he's dragged in Nelson Aguilar, who is now checked out.
Yeah. Well, Nelson knows he's not coming back.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That feeds into this whole notion of Nelson not being excited.
Well, yeah, that's where I could actually kind of see that. Where Nelson's like, hey, man, I'm not playing for this team next year. They're not re-signing me. So do I really want to push myself to get back for these final couple of games? So maybe I can help him make a playoff game. What does that do for me? I'm still going to be looking for a job next year.
So why risk getting hurt?
Why risk making it worse?
That's the thing,
right? Or playing through pain that I don't really feel like playing through.
Correct. No, I understand that. Well, anybody who was watching the stream right now.
Yeah, this dog is going crazy.
Well, it's just me disappearing below this table.
Is he teething or something? Like he wants to bite and chew everything.
No, this is what happens when he's frustrated and wants to go. He's not a destructive dog until he can't go or go out. Like if he's boxed in for a little bit. It's been raining. It's muddy as all hell out there. Every time I take him out running around the back, I have to wipe him down. So he's, what happens at the end of the show. We go for a 3-mile walk. He's antsy. He's ready to go. Like people listening to the show, they're ready to go.
Right.
They've got 2 hours of us that they've had enough.
Check out.
He is a listener.
Yeah.
All right, just think about that.
Right.
Use him as a gauge for a listener. If he's here at 110 on us and jumping up and down, it's a pretty good indication that people listening have had enough.
Right.
Now it's at 2. At least we made it to 2 o'clock. Speaking of which, now what's happening? Is it still the group of 4 in for Gil?
I'm not sure if Josh, are you there? Are you available to talk? Because I know yesterday they had the group of 4.
Yeah,
it was a big show.
It was a big show.
You had Hunter.
It's a big show.
You had Jeff Mosher, and of course you had Ryan Rothstein
and
Josh.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think they lead off with today? What would you guess they lead off with today? And
I would say Eagles.
Will anything that we mentioned that's non-sports be brought up on their show?
Probably not.
We offered up a lot.
I know they torched me yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before?
I didn't hear that.
At the start of the show. Yeah, it was 2 days ago.
About what?
It was about the Lizzo thing.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you should have been torched for that.
Yeah.
I saw some people tweeting, like, I've never heard of this person before in my life. And it's like rap and
living
hip-hop.
under a rock?
No, it's like rap and hip-hop people tweeting, like, has anybody heard of this Lizzo thing before that basketball game?
Wow.
Boy, let me tell you something. I couldn't be more out. I could not be more out. And you, I think what got Jeff is that the comparison to Missy Elliott. I think that's what really
I
upset
didn't
Jeff.
look. There was not a comparison. Okay. First of all, they're both female. They're both large. That was the comparison. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't saying that the music is the same thing.
To be fair, I'd much rather see Missy Elliott's behind than Lizzo's anything.
No, I agree. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I want to see it.
No.
But if I gotta choose between one or the other,
I wouldn't mind a shot at Missy Elliott's behind.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's cute.
Wow.
Sexy, man.
Dude.
I cannot make the same argument for Lizzo. Who?
10 seconds.
Who let